Hey everybody, this is Elise from Camp ASCCA, and you're listening to Camp ASCCA, the podcast, the show that dives into all things ASCCA and the people that make camp the incredible place it is. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with what's happening here at camp. That's at Camp ASCCA, CAMPASCCA. Hey everybody, welcome back to Camp ASCCA, the podcast. Today I'm here with two special guests, our Adventure Program Specialist Trey and our Aquatic Program Specialist Justin.
Woohoo! What's up everybody?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
We're going to start with some icebreaker questions to kind of get everybody ready for this episode.
Let's do it.
You could be a single age for the rest of your life. What age would you be?
Oh, I'd want to be 25.
You're not 25 now.
No, I'm not 25 now. I'm 23.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So why 25?
Because that's the age you can be when you can rent a car. And it's like the last age you hit when like you get those benefits. Like when you're 15, you get your learner's permit. When you're 16, you can drive. But when you're 25, you can rent a car. That's that last age that like is the restriction. And once you hit that age, you've got the world at your fingertips.
Okay.
And I'm not there yet.
Solid.
So it's also like you're young, you still have a lot of life in you. So
I'll experience that next year.
What?
I'll experience that next year.
I've got a couple years.
I'm experiencing it now. It's the last age before you're off your parents' insurance.
For me, it'd probably be 16 though.
16.
Yeah.
Young.
Getting that freedom to start driving.
Still living with your parents.
Yeah, man.
You don't have any bills?
It was a fun time. Yeah.
That is true. You don't have any bills.
Yeah, I really didn't have any bills. Like, shout out to mom because, you know, it was in her name and all, but like the only thing I had to cover was gas. So like if I had gas in that thing, yeah, I was out of there.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably 16.
Same way.
Had that freedom.
All right, what's the worst job y'all have ever had?
Ooh, this is a good one. For me, when I was 14, I was an upward basketball referee. I was this little middle schooler, didn't quite know what he was doing because I never really played basketball. I played maybe a season or two, knew the basics of it. But there were all these dads who took basketball too seriously, and they would just overrule any call I made. They didn't like the call. They'd be like, nope, this is our ball. And so I was pretty much just there wearing a jersey, blowing a whistle, getting paid minimum wage for no reason at all because the dads just took over. But, you know, you live and you learn.
Could we really see you as a referee?
I want to see
that. There's no pictures of it. You're just going to have to believe me. I don't remember what pants I wore. I know I had a referee jersey.
Khakis.
I don't know.
Had to have been khakis.
It was almost 10 years ago. You think I'm going to remember what pants I wore
Khakis with the
for the 2 basketball games I refereed before I quit?
The pants that you can
crease
unzip
up.
them and they turn
Oh,
into
yes,
shorts.
the ones that unzip at the knee. Yeah.
For me, I think my worst job. I got a couple, man, but I think have to be a plant job. I used to work at a plant. Just working with it's so diverse. Like working with a different culture and country that's over the plant. It's so much harder though, because for both of us, it was kind of like a win-lose. But for me, it was like a lose-lose because I didn't like, 30-minute lunches. I just didn't like anything about a plant job. So salute to everybody that's working in a plant right now because that's not for the weak.
Could not imagine. What is the last place y'all went to for the first time?
Boone, North Carolina.
What were you doing there?
That's where I got trained for the position I'm in now at Camp ASCCA. It was a fun time. North Carolina was literally my second time being in North Carolina, but it was like the first time I actually got to experience what North Carolina offers. So, yeah. I'm planning on going back here pretty soon. So,
sounds fun. Justin, what about you?
That's a good question. Probably Tempe, Arizona, which is kind of just south of Phoenix. It's where the Arizona State Sun Devils are, if that helps at all. Probably doesn't.
It doesn't.
But it's just this city in the middle of the desert, and they've got mountains around. There's one like less than a quarter mile away from the football stadium at Arizona State. You can just climb on top of the mountain and see for miles and miles. It's beautiful out there, but it's a big change from being in the woods on the lake here to going out to the desert.
sounds nice, but sounds hot.
We went in March last year, and I mean, pants and a t-shirt was perfect weather. Probably was like 85 at the most, but I would not want to be there over the summers.
It gets to like 110, I think.
Yeah.
Boone, I don't know. Boone offers, I think they're home of Appalachian State University, which is a good school.
Shoot, they beat Notre Dame.
They're balling in football right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, now that we've broken the ice, let's get into more questions about ASCCA. Where are you both from?
I'm originally from Dadeville, which is about roughly 10 minutes away.
Traveled far to get here.
Camp ASCCA Drive is 10 minutes away.
Yeah, so maybe 15. Yeah, pretty local.
Yeah, well, I've been all over. I was born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. Went to school out in Starkville, Mississippi, and then ended up here.
What made you want to work at ASCCA?
Well, when I was a freshman in college, this guy came and visited my fraternity by the name of Jacob Boyer, and who some people may know was our former adventure director. He came and spoke to us, gave a little presentation about ASCCA. Just wanted to see who all was interested in working here, and I wrote my name and number down. And then like a week or so later, Boyer called me. We talked on the phone. I had another job lined up, but it just fell through. And I remember sitting on the phone with him shortly after Easter happened, like a month before camp started. And he talked me through the application process, and I applied and never looked back. And that's how I ended up here.
What about you, Trey?
Well, for me being pretty local, Camp ASCCA's always been like 15 minutes away. I think the first time I've ever came to Camp ASCCA when I was in like kindergarten or first grade, I can't really remember, but the only thing I remember is the water slide.
It's very memorable.
So like, I've been around for a while, and as I've grown up through the grades, you hear more about Camp ASCCA. And once I got into high school, in my junior year, I was a teacher aide for the special education program that was there at Dable. And, just working with those kids and being able to see them and how they develop and grow throughout there, it just got me more involved into like special education and people with disabilities of all sorts and kinds, So at that point, I was like, I had some friends that was working for Camp ASCCA already, and I asked about it, and I was like, yeah, we think you'd be great for it. So 2018, that was my first year.
So I know you're both full-time now. What positions have y'all worked in the past? What did y'all start out as?
Well, we both started as a counselor. Trey was 2018, I was 2019, but after 2019, I was supposed to run nature in 2020, and then camp didn't happen. So 2021, I ran nature, and then after that, got the aquatics position.
Yeah, like as Justin said, I started in 2018. That was my first year as a counselor. Other than 2019, I was program staff, didn't work 2020, worked a week or so in 21, had a different job. But then I got that call. So, once you get that call for a bigger step in life, gotta take it. So that's what I did.
Absolutely. So you both started full-time around the same time. How long has it been for each of you now? How long have y'all been here?
So since when? March?
You started in March?
I got here March 12th.
You got here in May.
I'm talking about when I was hired or when I started?
When you started.
Yeah, it's been 5 months for me.
So yeah,
I've loved just about every second of it.
Yep, about 7-8 months.
Okay. So before you started your first summer full-time, how were y'all feeling? Were you nervous? Were you anxious? Kind of what was your thought process going into your first summer full-time?
I was excited. It's definitely a little weird because most of my lifeguards, like the people I was supposed to be leading and training, were my coworkers last summer. They were my friends, people I would hang out with outside of camp. So it was weird going from being friends and equals to being the boss of them. But I was excited to see how it was, and I knew everybody on my staff was going to be good, strong people, so I was excited for it. Definitely nervous, though, because it is a big step from just being summer staff to being extra responsible, but it was a fun leap.
I kind of got lucky on not knowing them that well when I started. I've only met them like once last summer when I came for a week. So I didn't kind of have that, friendship feeling with them. So it was kind of more of an easy side on that being a boss for them. But like me personally, yes, I was nervous because it's like my first ever like supervisor job. So, any supervisor job, it's gonna come with the
like extra responsibility, stuff like that.
The nerves, especially when it's your first time going into it. And like Trey and I had a little bit of time as full-time before the summer started, but it wasn't like working weekend camps or day camps and all that. We had like a month, 2 months to prepare, and then just went straight into the summer. So that I feel like I'm speaking for both of us. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but the summer went well. Nothing went bad. Can't complain.
I'm being a boss or whatever you want to call it. I mean, once you get the hang of and get used to it, it's not. I don't even call it a boss job.
No,
I wouldn't call it a boss. It's more like being a leader because it's not like we're telling them what to do. We're
Right.
at the programs with them, running it with them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's also hard being so young. Like, we're close to all of their ages,
Right.
or kind of close. So I think it's hard to have them sometimes take you seriously in this new role, but nonetheless, it's fun.
It all comes back to like respect too. Like if you there's a level of respect you have to give for them in order for them to show you the amount of respect you want back as being their supervisor.
No,
or whatever.
absolutely.
So once you cross that line and once they see how that works, then you're fine. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a laid back guy. I'm not finna sit here and be like, on your butt all the time. Unless you need it, but because that's how I've been raised. That's how I always came up. So yeah.
So all in all, y'all are feeling pretty good now that the summer's over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for next summer. I'm ready for us to be.
I'm ready for the 90-degree weather, personally.
Oh, you got to get through sweater weather first.
No,
I have a hoodie obsession, so
Same.
I'm ready for the fall.
don't do cold weather.
Ready for the season. Ready for everything we got going coming up. So I just want to keep it pushing.
What was your first summer full time? Was it what you were expecting? The way it went?
So yes, then no. Yes, because like from what I mentioned earlier, like the respect side, that went how I expected it to. But like I guess the accountability or like how much I actually was going to have to do when I got the position was kind of like the no. Because I'm not gonna lie, be honest, I wasn't prepared to the fullest for everything that it had to offer. Meaning, yes, I knew I had to take over some weekends. Yes, I knew I had to work weekends and kind of balance it out with your personal life. But you really can't beat the gig. You really can't beat what you have going here. Like, so yes, I'm willing to give up what I have going on because, I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm like, to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm getting old. That's what I'm trying to say.
Long answer.
What was the question? I forgot what it was when you started talking.
Was this summer being full time, was it what you were expecting or was it different?
Oh, no, it was nothing what I was expecting. So, like, to an extent, yeah, a little bit, but as summer staff, I never knew how, like, in-depth and how much work, like, other full-time staff members did. Like, I knew they did more work. I knew they had more responsibility. But it was one of those where I just had to experience it to understand it.
Yeah.
And
a lot of what they do is behind the scenes as well.
Yes.
How are y'all's positions different now that we're in the off season?
For me, I would say probably because we don't really deal with that many people in the off season. We're mainly maintenance. We still serve our day camps and our weekend camps, but mainly we're maintenance, getting ready for the next summer because that's our main priority is our summers. So, it's a little bit of everything, honestly.
yeah, giving a little bit of love to some programs that got used heavily during the summer. Like I know, even our cabins, we're in the process of repainting the floors on some of those, trying to make everything look nice for the upcoming. But while it is a little bit calmer and we don't have groups in, the groups that do come in, we get to kind of run them. So we get a taste of what it's like to be the camp director, and it's a lot of fun to look at camp from a different point of view now, where instead of just running programs, we're now like leading the group through the weekend and making those tough decisions.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
I like it a lot.
Not too much of a big difference, honestly, other than summer and fall and winter.
It's cold.
Season's
A little bit of cold.
Shoot, all the aquatic stuff has been shut down, so programs are different, but it's still fun.
Okay. What is y'all's favorite part of your job? If you had to pick just one thing, what would it be?
Probably the lake. I like being surrounded 90% by the lake. I've always grown up on the lake, so having the lake to my advantage every day, I'm pretty much like it. My dog does too, so
Yeah, it is
Big
beautiful
plus.
out here. Can't beat it.
love the land. I'm an outdoors guy, so I say favorite part is probably being outside, not the outdoors. So
I like being here year round. Like when you are just on summer staff, you come in for a couple of weekends, see some of the same guys that you saw over the summer. But when we're here on full time, we're here year round, so we get to see them every time they're here. And it's nice to continuously see them because once you keep making those bonds, it's no longer just somebody you're working with, but like they're your friends coming in, and it's nice to see your friends on a regular basis.
How has it been being in charge of weekend camps?
It's been a lot of fun. It definitely puts a different aspect on it. Like during the summer, we do have a lot of responsibility, but we're not the ones running camp. That's Matt, Cottney, the two directors around here. And that's our little taste of what they get to do is just reaching out to other group leaders and figuring out cabin arrangements and writing the programs down. It's a fun little challenge, and it definitely helps you become a better leader and think of new things on the spot. Like if something goes wrong, like the weather doesn't agree with the programs you were going to run today, trying to figure out something to do on the fly. And it's a good twist.
That's probably the worst thing to do.
It is the worst thing.
Y'all got a taste of that during the summer.
Disagrees.
I was stressed for y'all.
If anybody can agree that the weather goes bad on the weekend, it's Cottney. My first year, 2019 when I was program staff, like every weekend I would work for her. It would rain.
Always.
Literally
Always.
every single weekend. She'll tell you that to this day. So,
Well,
I mean,
what was rough about this summer is it was always thundering and like the occasional lightning, but it would never rain.
right. Yeah,
So we were
like,
always
you
shutting
didn't
down programs for thunder, but it just didn't rain. So it felt like we were shutting them down for no reason, but got to put the safety of campers first. So we were just doing games in the gym when there was just a little bit of thunder out there.
Well, yeah, let's just say we all got to know each other a little bit better.
Yes.
Because we spent a lot of our time in the pavilion. But hey, we always adapt and we make it work. So
What is y'all's favorite part of your job?
for me, I think it's probably the freedom I have in a job. I'm a supervisor, but at the same time, I have freedom. I have trust from people above me, to be able to go out and do stuff by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Previous jobs, former jobs, there's always got to be somebody, like looking over his shoulder or like, something like that.
Yeah.
But
There's just a
here-
certain level of trust
Right.
here.
Yeah. So like, I'm on the insurance. What other job have I had to just put me on a car insurance and just be like, go do this.
Just give you the keys to their van.
That's
We've
what I...
got 24 pizzas to pick up at 4 o'clock. Go get them.
So I just think that's freedom. Like, if I have to like, we have problems with worms sometimes, we'd be like, we need worms.
Yeah.
All right. Go pick them
for
up.
fishing.
Go pick. Yeah, for fishing. Yeah, we're just eating the worms. But yeah, so like as I'm going to pick the pizza up on Friday from Papa John's, I could run by Walmart and go get worms or get whatever I need for my program or for whoever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, that's a lot of trust, a lot of freedom. And I just like that, from a good establishment because that just lets me know that they actually want me around.
Yeah. When they put me on the insurance, I was a little scared. They obviously don't know my track record with hitting curbs. So
Favorite part about being here is not only getting to see camp from a different point of view, is like just continuously being here, like in the off season, having different groups come in. Like one example that I mean is we had a group come in from the Alabama Parks and Recreation Association. They brought people in from different homes. And when they were checking in, I'm talking to one of their group leaders, and I see this guy walk up. And I looked at his group leader, and I was like, was that Reggie? And he goes, yeah, it is. I'm like, I haven't seen Reggie since 2019. He hasn't been back here in the summers. And he came with this group. And it happened with a different group. Just seeing all these campers come in and, like, making connections from Camp ASCCA to, like, either the foundations or the group homes they're in. It's nice seeing them come throughout the year, not just for that 1 week.
That is like a good feeling, like, making our seed come, like different foundations and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll come and they've seen each other for like a whole year and they'll come, hey, what's up, man? Like it's like they haven't seen it, they've been talking and seen each other for every day.
Yeah.
So
And it's like over years, the longer we stay here, like the closer we get with our campers who come in, and they just aren't campers to us anymore. They're friends. And like when they live on the other side of the state and you don't see them but that one time a year, and then like you're here year round and they're coming in for different weekends, it's nice to continuously see them and build those bonds with the campers.
yeah.
to wrap our podcast up, what is y'all's favorite camp memory? I know it's hard to pick just one because y'all have been here for a while.
I'm going to go first. My favorite camp memory happened during one of those rain delays where it wasn't raining, but there was thunder. And we couldn't run tubing because obviously you don't want people in the water. So we were sitting up at the chapel. Everyone was talking, and our previous 2022 camper of the year,
21. Mm-hmm.
Ron Houston, started just preaching a sermon to everybody. We were just sitting around listening to Ron talk. And then we decided to pull out a speaker, and we're just playing some music to get everyone hype. And this one guy, Alan Tarantor, got out of his wheelchair. Alan can bear weight. And he got out of his wheelchair to start dancing. And Ron didn't know that AT could bear weight. And when Ron saw him get up out of his wheelchair and start dancing to the gospel music we were playing, Ron just lost it, was screaming, and went over and grabbed AT's hands and was dancing with him. And then when the song was over, AT went and sat back in his chair. And Ron just goes, "Praise Jesus. The Lord has lifted him up out of his chair."
That was a good memory.
And it was...
I wish I could have experienced that.
It was great. I loved every second of it. Ron didn't know that AT could bear weight and walk. Was the Lord there to lift AT up out of his chair? Probably, but also...
Most definitely. We was in the chapel.
Yeah, it was in the chapel. Yeah, even better.
And those two right there, AT and Ron, man. Grandpa Ron. Shout out to Grandpa Ron. He's the 2021 Camper of the Year.
Yeah.
But those two right there, man, they go back. They go way back. So,
Dude, Ron was the oldest camper we had this year, and he's probably one of the liveliest, too.
Oh, absolutely.
We throw a party with him every year.
Every year.
He brings Oreos. We supply the milk.
He gets 2 this year, though.
Yeah, he got 2 this year. One was his regular party, and one was his camper.
I got to throw water balloons with Grandpa Ron this summer, and it was the highlight of my year. Trey, do you have a favorite memory?
I got too many memories, but I think mine's gonna come from this previous summer too, which would be with old Fanny. When we were up there, Red Clay Strays. I don't know how they did it, but they got the Red Clay Strays is to do the Purple Rain by Prince. And man, when Fanny got on that stage, it was a good moment. Like it was a great magical moment. Everybody was like Fanny, and when you got campers cheering on other campers, I think that's part of our goal here. So like, I think that's a solid memory for me. So.
There's definitely some people that are born to be on stage, and I think Penny is. All right, y'all, thank you for joining us today. I know our listeners will look forward to hearing this episode.
All right, see you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.
Hopefully y'all be here next summer.
What's happening at ASCCA? This is the part of the show where we are going to talk about everything that's happening right here at Camp ASCCA.
Thanks, Elise. And hey, everybody, this is Dana Rickman. I'm the Director of Marketing Communications checking in with y'all. Isn't the weather wonderful? I feel the cold air in the mornings and it's so nice. Do you know what else is cold and maybe not so nice? Jumping into a cold swimming pool. But we have dozens of brave participants do just that each December to help raise money for Camp ASCCA. Annual Jingle Jump fundraiser is on Saturday, December 10th. We ask that individuals or teams raise at least $800, the cost of one campership. Information for the event can be found on our social media and website. Last year, we raised just over $50,000, so it's a very successful event for us. And we encourage everybody to participate. Anybody's welcome. And if you're under the age of 18, we ask that you have your parents' permission. And also, make sure to use a costume because that makes it more fun and they're hilarious pictures and videos. Also looking forward to next summer's camps. Here's a reminder that summer camp registration began on Monday morning, and we encourage you to apply before all the weeks are full next year. The traditional dates and weeks have changed a bit, so pay attention. This information is on our website and social media as well, but session 1 is going to be for adults ages 19 plus, and that's June 18th to the 23rd. Session 2 is going to be children ages 6 to 21, June 25th through the 30th. Session 3 is adults for ages 19 and above, and that will be July 2nd through 7th. Session 4 is for teenagers age 14 to 25, July 9th through the 14th. Session 5 is for children 6 to 21 again, and that's July 16th through the 21st. And finally, Session 6 is adults 19 through 40, and that is July 23rd through 28th. And as always, we have a lot of themes each week that we concentrate in. A sports theme, 4th of July if you're coming that week, Mardi Gras, dressed as a Disney character. So there's a lot going on, and check out the summer themes that were posted recently on social media and our website. So that's it for now, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Camp ASCCA, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to you joining us next time. As always, be sure to follow us on social media at Camp ASCCA and visit our website campasca.org for more information about camp.